those components or those features and functionalities. Also, there's a number of export options. You can export your dashboard to Flash, Adobe Air, HTML, SAP Business Object Platform, PDF, PowerPoint, Outlook, and Word. And also, just like your iPhone, SAP Crystal Dashboard Design also supports add-ons. There are a number of partners out there who have built add-on solutions for SAP Crystal Dashboard Design, and they cover everything from different charts to different menus to maps and data connectors. Here on the left-hand side, you have your component browser, where it gives you access to all the components, all the data visualization components that are available to you to build your dashboard. As you can see, there are a number of charts, there are a number of menus, single values like dials, gauges, maps, and other text and art and background components. Here in the middle, you have your canvas where you build your dashboard. For example, you can go ahead and get a pie chart and put it on the canvas here, and it brings up this property sheet. You would use this property sheet to connect your component, your visualization component, to your data sitting in an Excel spreadsheet or coming from a live data source. To give you a quick example, I'm going to go ahead and get a gauge and put it on canvas. You can see it brings me the property sheet for the gauge. And to link it to the data, I can use the link data button here to link it to my data in my Excel spreadsheet here. So I'm going to go ahead and put 20 in my spreadsheet here and use this link data button to populate my gauge sitting on my canvas. So you can see it's very simple and intuitive when it comes to building a dashboard. Just a couple other things I'd like to touch on is SAP Crystal Dashboard Design comes with a number of different themes. So here you have different look and feel for your dashboard. You have a number of pre-built color palettes, so you can customize the look and feel of your dashboard so it fits your corporate standards. From the toolbar menu here, you have the option to switch your views, so you can look at your spreadsheet while you're working on your data. You're trying to do aggregation and you're massaging your data, and once you're ready, you can switch back to your workspace and start building your dashboard. And then up here, you have your one-click export to different content. Also, we have the Quick Start button here that provides you with access to a number of getting started tutorials and a number of different how-to videos that walk you through using how you would go about using different components and features and functions in SAP Crystal Dashboard Design. To save time, I've already built a dashboard that's connected to a comma-separated file that I got from my database. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my dashboard that I already built. Here, what you're looking at first is the CSV, comma-separated value representation of my database, which holds the monthly sales for various product lines. What I've done is I copy-pasted this data into my Excel spreadsheet in my SAP Crystal Dashboard Design application. So you can see when I switch to spreadsheet, I see the exact same data. As far as my dashboard, I've used a label-based menu to enable the end user to select a specific product line and see the monthly sales of that product line inside this chart here. So you can see when I click on General, the source data of the label-based menu is linked to the portion of the spreadsheet that holds the product line names, the sales revenue, and the month. And the destination where the user selection will go is located here in this green area. As far as my chart, you can see I'm visualizing the data that is being placed in there by the label-based menu. So when I look at the data that's going into the chart, it shows me the data that will be placed here by the label-based menu will show up inside the chart. So let's take a look at the the actual production version of this. So I can click on preview to see how this works. So when I click on a specific product line, what's happening is that the label-based menu is looking up the values for accessories, taking it from that yellow portion of the spreadsheet, placing it into the green portion of the spreadsheet, and that's where I have my chart linked to, and you can see the data inside the chart. Also, what I've done is I've added a range slider so my end users can do some on-the-fly filtering by just adjusting the date range for this particular chart. And to just add this range slider is quite simple. It's a functionality that comes with the chart. And to enable that, you have to click on the chart. It brings up the property sheet. You go to behavior, and you click on enable range slider, and this range slider will automatically pop up. To connect this to a live data source or to the CSV file, what you need to do is to go to the data manager, and SAP Crystal Dashboard Design actually comes with a number of data connectivity options out of the box. So you can connect your dashboard to a business object enterprise universe, to any ODBC source using web services, to SAP data sources, to XML data sources, to different portal applications like SharePoint, IBM WebSphere, Crystal Reports, Adobe Lifecycle Data Services, and XML maps for Excel and Live Office connections. For this particular example, I'm using a CSV Data Connector add-on that's available from Technical Solutions to connect my dashboard to that CSV file that we looked at earlier. And to configure this CSV Data Connector is quite simple. You just click on Add, and it brings up this property sheet for you. And all you need to do is to define the location of the CSV file. So here, I have the path to my CSV file, which is sitting on my local C drive, and this could be on a server as well. And the second thing you need to do is to define the destination, so where you want the data to be loaded at runtime. So once you deploy your dashboard, the data connector will automatically go get the data from the CSV file and put it here, and you will have access to this live data in your dashboard. So once you set up your dashboard data connectivity using the CSV file, you can export it to a Swift, and we can test out the connectivity between the file and the dashboard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the dashboard inside a web browser. And you can see we are looking at the data for accessories and city skirts and different product lines. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a slight change in my CSV file, and we should be able to see the change almost immediately inside our dashboard. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the CSV file. Here, I have the sales revenue for accessories line, which is 150. Is 1,567. So I'm going to add this couple more digits to it. Click Save. And then go back to my dashboard. I'm going to refresh my dashboard, and we should see the change in the sales for accessories. So now you can see this data has changed in real time off the CSV file. And also you can set up your dashboard, your presentation, to automatically refresh on a time interval. So every 5 minutes you can set it up to refresh, or you can set it up so it will refresh on a user interaction. So whenever the user clicks on a specific component inside your dashboard, you have the data refreshed. Or you can have it set up the way that I have it set up here, which is the user would have to refresh the model to see the change inside the data. This pretty much wraps up my demo for SAP Crystal Dashboard Design. I'm going to go ahead and go back to my presentation. So what I just showed you is how you can easily create dashboards that empowers you and your business users with real-time insight into business operations. But what would happen during the course of your analysis if you need additional information, or you want to restructure the dashboard to show you an entirely different view of the information? Traditionally, this meant that you have to go back to your IT and rely on them to get the info that you need. What's really needed here is a self-serve analysis tool that lets business users run their own reports and queries right on their desktop, so they can access the information they need in the format they need it and when they need it. And that's going to be the focus of my last part of my, that's going to be the last part of my presentation. And I will focus on how you can provide your business users with self-serve access to business information. You know, we all know and we all agree that reports and dashboards are great tools for putting actionable information into the hands of business users. But also there's a downside to using just reports and dashboard, and there's just too standardized. For example, halfway through your report or your dashboard analysis, you may realize that you need additional data to tackle questions like, I just want to see the data for Europe, or I just want to get rid of the noise and see how my data compares across different regions, or how can I visualize regional sales over each week, or what are the top, performing countries or stores in my region, or how do I get the average sales value for my product. So there's a ton of questions like these that are hidden inside reports and dashboards. And in many cases, they force the end users or the business users to go back to the IT and request for additional reports and dashboards. So for business professionals who want to see and view standard reports and dashboards, but also want to analyze the data that they see, we have a new offering called SAP Crystal Interactive Analysis, which provides ad hoc query analysis functionality in a self-service environment. So you can use it on top of any data source, from OLAP to ODBC and personal data sources. It actually allows you to slice and dice your data in an almost unlimited way. You can start fresh with a blank report, or just take existing reports and customize them to meet your specific needs. It comes with online and offline modes, so it gives you the freedom to analyze your data anywhere, and also allows you to drill down from summary information all the way to detail, and then compare data across different data sources. If you're familiar with our SAP Business Object products, you'll see a lot of similarities between Web Intelligence and SAP Crystal Interactive Analysis. And SAP Interactive Analysis is the desktop version of Web Intelligence, and it works without the platform. Let's take a look at how this product works. So there are two components to SAP Crystal Interactive Analysis. The first component is a metadata layer, which is also known as universe, that resides between an organization database and the end user. This layer is basically a business representation of your data warehouse and your transactional database. And the purpose of it is to replace obscure database terms with common business terms. So you can interact with your company data without having to know the complexity of the underlying database. And the second part of it is the actual SAP Crystal Interactive Analysis software, which provides an intuitive interface for building ad hoc reports and interactive documents. So let's go ahead and see this in action.